All right, welcome back to the channel, folks. If you see the red dots in the title, the live stream is currently live. If you don't see the red dots, you are watching the playback. Looks like we're all good to go. I thought I'd do a quick follow-up video from my video that I posted last night from the Relic job. It was a huge effort. It took me all day. And I wanted to thank a few people as well for all their suggestions as well. What you're looking at right now might be the finished product. It was not quite finished yesterday when I posted that video, but it was the first time I've done it. So let's just make sure we're working here. We've got Jason Wade, welcome. Jamal, how you going, man? Merry Christmas. We've got David the Hare. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas, everybody. You got some rest from all that work? I did, man. It was brutal. What a day. You know, I overestimated my abilities. I probably should have spent the 20 bucks and got an electric sander, but I didn't do that. Looks good though. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that, Mustang man. How do you feel about it now that it's a new day? I like it a lot. I've tweaked it up. So firstly, I wanted to thank everybody for their suggestions on how to make it look a little bit more used in amongst all of the sanding that I did. I'm not a luthier, obviously, and I'm also not what I would consider a woodwork expert or anything like that. I'm a computer nerd. So for me, jumping in and just giving this a shot is what it was all about. I like to just give things a go. I like to try to find if I can make things happen. And this is one of those things where I've wanted to do this for such a long time, and I've never really had the opportunity to have a guitar that I can kind of, you know, do something like this too. And I think it's looking pretty good. So you're going to see some differences today, and I'll show you and you can let me know what you think. I know a lot of people still don't like this whole idea of relicing guitars, and that's fine. Like, it's just one of those things. They feel good to play, and that's what it's all about. T-Tone, welcome. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. He says, I think the Relic job looks really great. Appreciate that. Chris, how you doing? Lost Smoke. All right. Boudreaux Guitars, welcome. Steve, how you doing, mate? Merry Christmas to you too. Any plans on a pickup swap in this guitar? Not right now, no. Look, if I get some pickups to test, I'll probably use this as the test guitar, but yeah, I made some adjustments to it today, and I went down to Bunnings again, and I spent $3.29 and I got some of this stuff called permanent chalk. I want to thank Dylan for this. Dylan's one of the subscribers on the channel, and he suggested go get this stuff, just don't breathe it in. So I got it, and I rubbed it into the guitar, kind of sanded it back a little bit. I might do a follow-up video on that. I shot a little bit of video footage, but yeah, I think that, and a lot of people were saying the shoe polish thing too, so I used both, and I think it's really changed the vibe of the guitar now. So thank you so much. Techie Music Nerd 95, welcome. Thanks for that, mate. I appreciate that. What's the worst relicing job you've ever seen? You know, you got those friends of yours, or anyone. I got friends of mine who have tried this. And for those who reckon my job didn't look great, I've seen much worse in my time, trust me. So yeah, it's one of those things where I'm pretty happy with the overall result of mine. But I've seen some of my close friends have tried this and it hasn't worked out great. And sometimes it works out all right too. So I remember the first time one of my good friends tried it, he butchered it. And a lot of people probably thought that about this too, and that's fine too. It's all subjective stuff. I know this isn't for everybody, but I'm gonna show you a little bit about what I've done to it, and hopefully you think it looks a little bit better. So yeah, thanks again to Dylan. Thanks again to everyone who posted comments on how to make it look like this, like this. Look at the neck. Look at the body. It looks heaps better. All the grit has filled the little cracks and nooks, and it was a good day outside doing this. It only took me about 10 minutes, and I'm pretty impressed. So I appreciate that, Techie Music Nerd. Thank you. Would you be interested in a custom pedal board? It would be an honor to make you one. I've got a couple of pedal boards at the moment, but look, just shoot me an email at intheblues@outlook.com, and yeah, I'll have a chat with you over email. I appreciate the offer too. Was the Harley Benton TH5 a good household pedal platform? Absolutely. So you can use that on either 1 watt or 5 watts. It's pretty loud with pedals actually, with the volume at 12 o'clock, especially going through the 2x12. I really like that amp as a pedal platform. I think it sounds way better with pedals than just sort of like cranked master volume. That's just my opinion, but everyone likes different things. Some people love that push tube sound, but for me, much better with pedals. Oh, it's Landon here. Welcome, man. Sorry about that. Relics of Proposers. So that video is kind of doing pretty well. I had a feeling it might be... I kind of want to have a chat about that too. I feel like the whole Relic discussion is probably the most divisive thing in the guitar community. People who do something like this. This isn't something that I would normally do, but I have thought about it for a long time, and I wanted to see if I could do it, you know, on a budget. And minus this carpet, you know, the whole thing came to about 20 bucks, 25 or $23, including the chalk stuff that I got. I already had shoe polish, so that worked out all right as well. Stop No Names, welcome. I'll bring it up. I've just got some strings here from Sky Music. I went down there and picked some up, so yeah, I'm gonna restring this and bring it up tonight. If anyone has any questions about that process, let us know. This live stream probably be, I don't know, 20 minutes or something, or 30 minutes. I always say that and it keeps going, but yeah, look, I don't know how long I'll be on for today. I just wanted to share a little bit about the progress of this, and yeah, let you know how it looks today, at least anyway. Julian says, I have guitars from the 80s that have been gigged with and in boats all of those years, and none of them look like that. But if you're happy, go for it. Well, I tell you what, I've had a guitar since, actually, I should have bought it in. I've got a 52 reissue if you're new to the channel. It looks very similar to this. It's got black spots on the finish through playing. It's taken 10 years to get it to look like that, or 10 years pretty much to get it to look like that. So that's one of those things where, you know, will I play this solidly for 10 years? Probably not. Was this fun? Absolutely. And I don't regret doing it at all. So, and I get why some people are like, that's the worst thing I've ever seen. And I couldn't do that to any of my guitars. I couldn't do that to any of my other guitars. Let's just put that into context as well. The price of these made this way more appealing. You know, if you're going to be spending $1,000 on a guitar to Relic, that's a tough decision to do. But for something that's, you know, priced the way it is, it's kind of like a no-brainer for me to give it a go. I should also point out too, I wasn't asking for an exchange on this guitar. Toman said to me they'll send out another one. That's why I did this. I said to him, don't worry about it, I'm happy with this. No, we'll get you another one. So I was like, all right. I asked him, I said, hey, how about I Relic this? And we'll see how it comes up. And they said go for it. So that was it. Tonewood versus Relic. Yeah, we're going to try and get all the high tension topics of the guitar community and just, you know. Anyway, I'll tell you what, let's have a quick look at this because that's why we're here. I was going to edit a full video, but now the streaming quality is hopefully pretty good. I might not have to. So let me get up a little bit closer here. All right, so yesterday when you saw this was completely white and it looked like I just sanded it. And same with this. So I kind of put a bit of the permanent chalk on. They use it for creating lines on the ground or something like that. So yeah, I put a little bit too much on actually, and I covered the entire back. And it filled in all the little bits, you know, like you can see here too, on all these little chips from the saw. All of those are filled now, which looks pretty cool. It definitely looks a little more legit. I'm not going to say it looks perfect because it doesn't, but I'm loving the fact that it looks like a matte finish now, as opposed to that high gloss. I think it looks way better, and having the dirty bit sort of in the cracks looks kind of cool. So. That's the front. I'll check the comments in a sec, guys. It's hard for me to sort of focus in on the... It's out of focus, isn't it? Hang on, let me try this. There we go. All right, so yeah, you can sort of see how it looks now. It looks really quite different. The back of the neck, it's kind of much better now in my opinion. It looks way less just sanded. It still looks sanded obviously, but it has a very different color. It's closer to what I was going for. I think the trick to really get it to work is to use a really coarse sandpaper and then use this, the chalk stuff to sort of fill those cracks. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that. The headstock, same thing as well. I kind of tried to make it look a bit more worn, and the fretboard too now looks dirty, and it looks worn as opposed to just sanded as well. So that's kind of cool. I'm happy enough with that. Let me just get around here. So I'm on this autofocus system that isn't the right one today. Great. Sorry guys, hang on. Let me just do this. That should hopefully fix that. All right, looks like we're good. Cool. Yeah, so that's the job. I think now it looks a lot better. There'll be people out there that still hate it, but that's fine. Permanent chalk help, thanks. Yeah, Mark, absolutely. Check out that rust. So a lot of people were saying that I should have taken the whole guitar apart and covered up the pickups and all that kind of stuff. I really couldn't be bothered. I didn't really feel it was that essential. I mean, how hard is it to clean out, the cavity in here? I did that today. It was a piece of cake. The pots were fine. And just keeping on top of some of the dust was a good thing too. But one other comment I saw a lot of was, why didn't you do this in your garage? I don't have one. It was either inside or outside, and I think outside would have been. It's just too hard for me to film outdoors, especially where I live. So, thanks Jamal. Thanks Landon. Sorry mate. Looking at the neck, it looks worn and comfortable, just like Clapton's. Wanted with Blackie and Brownie. It's really cool, man. It feels great. It really does feel good. It's nice and smooth. This stuff doesn't come off on my hands either. So what I did after I applied the chalk, I re-sanded the guitar just lightly. I also grabbed some, what are they? They're like cleaning wipes, basically. They're not alcohol based. They're kind of like a bathroom cleaner, like just a generic sort of thing. It sounds kind of weird, but I went over that and made sure all of the loose parts of the materials were sort of on the cloth. I made sure of that, and I reckon it's come up pretty cool. I reckon it looks good. I could have probably have scratched up the scratch plate better. A lot of guys were leaving suggestions on how I should have done that, and it made more sense to sort of follow the pick marks. Mate of mine, Neil, who's here too, texted me and said the same thing. I didn't think of that. There's a couple of areas where I probably could also do more relicing to it, but I think for where it's at right now, I'm pretty happy with it. I'll give it a play tonight, and we'll see if it works. See if it sounds good, and it'll sound the same. But we'll see if it feels good to play, because that's what it's all about. And I wonder how many people will flame it in real life. So yeah, there we go. Not sure why you relic guitars, personal preference. In my opinion, it's like doing a relic job on a car. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, people buy jeans that are scuffed up as well. I take it most people who don't like relic guitars have probably never played one. And not all of the time either. Basically, the more relic the neck is, usually the better it feels. And before you disagree, if you haven't played one, go pick one up. They feel amazing. They're nice and smooth. There's something about that feels good in your hand. It's just a less sticky kind of vibe. And that's what I was going for. All of this, it's cosmetic. Who cares? Like, it's not going to affect the tone of the guitar. It's just, music's an art kind of thing too. So people who do this, go for it. I don't know. I couldn't care less. Permanent chalk has helped. Thanks, man. All right. Looks good, but needs more filth. That's from Daniel. Thanks, mate. Look, I'm getting there. I'm getting my confidence up with this stuff now. This is something, for those who don't know my history, I'm an IT guy, right? I don't do stuff like this normally. This is fun. I'm no professional. Lost Smoke says, nice, and it definitely looks better today. You've inspired me to give it a go. I'm going to start on a bit conservative. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. So my suggestion would be, Chris, if you've got a high gloss guitar like this, find really heavy sandpaper. Don't go for the medium or fine stuff. Get really thick sandpaper, because even the stuff I thought I wasn't going to use much of is what I used most of on this guitar, especially on the body. It would have been impossible with fine or medium grade sandpaper. So you want something that's quite low in terms of the numbers, really scratchy. You need a few more random dings in there. All right, so this is the other thing too. I spoke to Rick about this. He was suggesting that I make use of my driveway. But I'll show him tonight, and he can give me some suggestions. He sent me some more photos of some other guitars as well that have been done, and I'm getting a little. I almost feel like I want to obliterate it a little bit more, but it's a good starting place. Ah, Cheddar, you madman! What are you doing? Power sanding fun. Thanks, mate. So we're 12 out of $25 there, and I'll get a power sander and just no, I appreciate that, mate. Thanks so much, and good job on the Albert King lesson too. I like that. Albert's my favorite blues player, so or was. Yeah, good stuff. It's good to see someone else from the community posting more videos. That's always awesome. If you got any questions, man, or whatever, just let us know. I do appreciate that. All right. Play for us, man. Well, as of right now, this doesn't have any strings. I thought I'd just do a quick live stream and show you how it sort of ended up today. And yeah, for those who have just joined, you can probably scroll back and take a look, but I think it looks way better. Having that black sort of tint through it now from the chalk was, man, that stuff's scary to buy. It's $3.25, and it's this little container like this that I'll never use the rest of. And you read the back, and it's like the most hideous stuff ever. I asked the guy at the shop, I was like, man, this stuff sounds nasty. He goes, you just don't breathe in the dust. It's like, can cause cancer, can cause this, I'm like, holy crap. So I had the mask on, was outside, I didn't do that indoors. Relicing guitars makes me worry less about damaging it. That's from Metal Stage. Welcome, man. How you doing? Good to see your podcast is back, or your hangout recently as well. That's awesome. Yeah, look, if you've got a really nice guitar, the first time you ding it can be pretty damaging, I guess, to your to the love of the instrument or whatever. But I really feel like it's part of using them. Once you get past that. Nearly every guitar I've owned, someone else has dinged it. My friend Khaled's the worst, man. He lent me a whole bunch of gear for the channel over the years. The Boogie 22, the last Mustang 3 version 2 was his. That pedal board of Destruction, Pedal Star Galactica was his as well. Yeah, when I bought my Les Paul, the Gold Top 56 VOS, he dinged it. Thanks for that, mate. If you ever watch this video. So yeah, thanks again, Cheddar. Appreciate that, mate. I use Fast Cut 50 grit. Oh, there you go. There you go. There's a tip that will definitely help. Adam EVH, welcome, man. Congrats on the 100K and season's greeting. You too. Thank you so much for being a part of the community here, and thanks for the Christmas or season's greetings, as they say overseas. Suave Trainwreck says, one question, do you feel anything spiritual entered the guitar after distressing it? It felt like it became more mine. Like I've had a part in it, in its existence now, as opposed to just having it as it was from the shop. So I kind of like that, and that's how I feel about my 52. I've had it that long that it's got a lot of the scuff marks, not obviously like this, but I'll show you. I'll go get it. It's right here. It's one of those things where, you got to sort of, oh, hang on, it's not there. Where is it? Here it is. This won't look anywhere near as relic as that now, but All right, so this is my 52. A lot of what you see on this, or all of it, none of this was worn in any way that wasn't just through playing. So all of these black patches here, they're all from wear. And the finish does some really weird stuff. You get these kind of like black lines through it, like that as well, which is just really odd. So yeah, there's a lot of scratches on the back. So this guitar has been just played to death. It would never look like that though. Like it just wouldn't. So they're you know, this has more gloss on it now than this, which is kind of hilarious. I love this thing. This is a great guitar. But nothing wrong with this. Now I can take it to the worst pubs I play at and just, you know, leave it outside in the rain. It won't matter. Thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, mate. Have a good one. Pretty sweet job for the first go. Thanks, Tim. Stick says, how can you be such a monster? Did your mother mistreat you? Oh, man, it's fun. It's fun. Give it a go. I think people take too much, they put too much emphasis on like guitars as needing to be in pristine condition. I play and use all of my stuff. I don't care that this has got marks on it. It's part of the 10 years of use, you know, playing it in Australia, playing it in the US. You know, places I've played this, it's all rusty and crappy on the scratch. On the jack, not the jack, what do you call it? The plate. There's belt marks on the back, and you know, the neck's still in pretty good condition. That's the main thing. It's got a few dings on it, but you know, overall it's pretty sweet. But I reckon it adds your personality to it. I don't believe in just kind of sitting there cleaning guitars all the time. I'm not into it. What's your thoughts on the Epiphone Les Paul Plus Top Pro? Is it the one with the push-pull pots as well? I think I played one of them last year. Or was it earlier this year? It could have been earlier this year. Epi make good stuff. I have no problems with their guitars. I think they're tone-wise they're really good. A lot of people give their headstock grief, but you know, I reckon they're good guitars. They're solid instruments. The 52's got strings, right? It does. Yeah, I got I'm down to 10s at the moment. I'm down to 10s. 10 to 46 as opposed to 11. I feel like that just works easier for me now. I keep mine in pristine condition. Oh, look, there's some guitars, I don't go out of my way to abuse any of the guitars, but the point is I don't obsess about it. It's really, I've met people that are seriously over obsessive about keeping their guitar clean. Like between sets, they'll be cleaning it up. I'm like, really? Yeah, it's all personal choice. Like there's no right or wrong about it. I can appreciate people who want to keep their guitars in fine form, and that it makes sense too, because you know they're part of what you love. And I would never do this to my 335 or even my Les Paul or my Tokai or even that. I just wouldn't sand this down. You know, I don't really want to do anything to it. I like the fact it's been played in. I think a lot of people who might have just seen that video that didn't know me don't really know that I actually play a lot. And I have guitars that have worn out over the years. So yeah, it was more for just, you know what, can I do it? Can a guy who knows nothing about relicing an instrument watch 2 videos and kind of give it a go? So if you didn't see those videos, the one that I couldn't remember was Crimson Guitars. He relics a PRS. It's had like 444,000 views as of right now. And Dave Simpson, who I gave a shout out to on that video as well. Check out his. His was really cool too. He got in there with like a scalpel and started scratching it. That would have sort of blown the budget out. And I was a little reluctant to kind of scratch up the fretboard any more than just with the sandpaper. But you know, it's come up all right. It's come up all right. It definitely feels and looks better today than it did yesterday. I was looking at it last night. I went, you know, there were a few comments where people said something like, oh, it looks like you've just sanded it. And I was like, yeah, you're right, because I did just sand it. But now at least it's starting to look a little bit more you know, not too dissimilar to the photos I wanted to use, except for the grains, obviously very different, but the reference photos I had. It doesn't smell or anything, it just smells normal. It adds to the tone. Keep your precious gems at the home or the studio. Couldn't imagine polishing between sets, LOL. Yeah, well, I know guys that have done that. I think it's a personality disorder almost, you know, needing to do that every set. I could be wrong, but anyway, guys, if anyone's got any last questions, feel free to let us know. I just wanted to share this quickly with you, and hopefully the new live stream is rocking as well. I'm enjoying having fast internet now. Rory Gallagher's strap was stolen and left in a hedge for a while. Maybe you should try that as well. That's from Paul. Thanks for that, mate. I appreciate that. That's funny. Rick was sort of saying maybe I should just leave it out in the sun on a couple of hot days that we're going to have coming up where it gets to like 44 degrees Celsius or something crazy. So yeah, well, there's a few things I could do to scuff it up a little bit more, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It's not too over the top, but it looks like it's been done. There's a few areas around the plate here that I've missed. I can see that under this light. There's like a bit here that I haven't sanded at all, but you know, maybe that'll add to its mojo. Let me just scroll over here. Amanda, welcome. How you doing? I just bought an Epiphone Les Paul Standard Pro Top and love it. Awesome stuff. So that's why you're asking me. I think Epis make good guitars. There's nothing wrong with them. One of the best guitars I ever had was the Epiphone Dot from 2002, somewhere around then. I had it. It was a great guitar. Big 50 style neck. It had the Gibson headstock. It was the real deal. Quentin, welcome, man. Just had a friend give me a Michael Kelly model 1954 HH Flame Top Tele. How awesome is that? There you go, mate. You got yourself a Relic project. Beautiful. Actually, I think I have a feeling they got a different, really nice top on them and all that kind of stuff from what I can recall, but I could be wrong. All right, here's a great question. This is from Cheddar. What's the dumbest question or comment that video has gotten so far? So one that just stands out is why with a question mark, and I wrote because with an exclamation mark, and then he replied touche. Hey, I gotta say, I'm actually overly impressed by how great the comments were on that video. The only stuff I ever remove off the channel is like personal attacks, right? If someone says, oh, you know, F you or whatever, I take all that stuff down. All right, the spam bot usually catches it. And by the way, Cheddar, one of your comments recently I had to manually approve that. You were unleashing some interesting words. So yeah, I haven't read, at least I haven't seen them all today, but as I was up late last night looking at the comments, I didn't really see anything that was offensive. It was just like opinionated stuff, which is totally fine. I dig that. Mark D says, this was the stupidest video I've seen in a while, and he's got a beer thing at the end. That's pretty cool. Get yourself some, all right, so there's plenty of, what I love about this too is there's so many good comments about how to do this. A lot of people have done this before. And just, yeah, there's so, Tom just wrote, no, with exclamation marks after it. When you put the mask on, you sound Australian. Good stuff, man. Oh man, the comment section's awesome. Why stop there? Look at Billy Gibbons beat up Tele. That Relic and work is a work of art. 650 Thunderbird said you did very well, which is awesome. Hugh wrote a comment there. Shane, after watching the channel for over 10 years, you are dead to me now. Smiley face. Oh, that's awesome. If you own a car, you can drive over it. Might cost you 30 cents worth of petrol. And that's kind of what I was getting at earlier. That might be something that I do at some point. There's a lot of people that seem to take doing this like as an offensive thing to their own state of being. It's hilarious, man. It just cracks me up. How's this? Disappointed actually. Like so much of modern society, this is fake. Yes, it's harmless, but a guitar that's earned its relic status through years of hard playing is why guitars end up looking like that. So you could play this guitar for 40 years and you're never gonna go through the actual varnish on it. You're not going to. If it took me 2.5 hours of manual hand sanding this to get it to where it is, you're never gonna wear it out and have it look like the way that it does. But, you know, to each their own. All right. Yeah, so many people were talking about the boot polish and the shoe polish for applying it to the bits that were sanded. And it makes a huge difference. I saw that comment a lot. I'm just going through it still. There's a lot of people that were saying like certain types of polishes you can't buy here as well, which I looked for. Unfortunately, they're like, you know, the stuff they use on guns. We don't have guns. Oh, well, not really. Would I do it again? You know what? If I was going to do this type of thing again, I'd go buy some tools and I'd do it outside. I would definitely not do it indoors again. I was cleaning up a lot between shots. A lot of people said, oh man, all your electronics. You know, there were times I'd take a minute and I'd go over and wipe stuff down and vacuum things, and I had the windows open and stuff as well, so there was some airflow. But would I do it again? If I did, I would probably do it not by hand. That would be the way I do it. Given the guitar was essentially a fake of a Fender Tele, I don't see why so many people get upset over Relic in it. Yeah, well, that's it. It didn't really seem like a huge deal. Dave Byron says, Merry Christmas to you all. Remember, treat people good and good will come to you. Very simple. Thanks, man. Merry Christmas to you too. Wise words. I got a video coming up sort of recapping the year. I shot it about a week ago, or maybe 4 or 5 days ago. That'll be up soon. There's a bit of an end of year message in there as well. Kind of the best and the worst of everything I've had a chance to test and butcher. Actually, this isn't in it because I shot this video after that video, but Relic it Hendrix style, lighter fluid and a match. A lot of people saying I should put the cigarette burns on the headstock. It might be something worth doing. Gotta go, Shane. Merry Christmas. Thanks, T-Bone. I appreciate that. I like that name, T-Bone Tomo. It sounds great. Lefties forever. Awesome. Quentin says he's in Kentucky. We get a gun at birth. Yeah, and when you open a bank account and when you do anything, just get a free gun. Next, Relic and amp. So tonight, coming up on the channel, I won't actually be home when the video goes live. Probably I'll be out playing, but the finale almost of the Fender Mustang GT conversion to a cabinet video goes live. And the cool thing about that, I actually show you some of the parts on the inside of it up close. I kind of didn't go into too much of that on that quick live stream that I did pulling it apart. But stay tuned for that. I'm going to do, it sounds good. It sounds really good. I got it all back looking great. The new Fender Mustang arrived, so we're sorted out there as well. So yeah, I think that job I did on that broken Fender GT is pretty much the Relic job it's going to get. But all right, here's a question from Tanner. He says, oh, Talk says, not my thing, but you did a good job. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. It was just fun. It was just something to do. I had a day and I thought, you know what? Here's a good project / video. I know kind of how divisive that sort of stuff can be in the guitar community. So you just got to let, you know, it's funny because even people who watch the video who don't like the whole Relic thing and still enjoyed it. And then there were people that just disliked it just straight away because I was scratching up a new guitar. And I get it. It makes sense. Any advice or knowledge about Yamaha Pacificas? Not a Tele, but still a guitar. They're great guitars. I said this for years, up until, I don't know, a while ago now. Yamaha Pacificas might be some of the best, inexpensive, easily accessible guitars out there. I know guys that play in full-blown like work in cover bands who play Yamaha Pacificas. They got a Strat with a humbucker in the bridge. There's that one. There's a whole lot of them. Really good quality instruments. They're hard to beat, man. They really are. They play great. You know, fast neck, all that kind of stuff. So there's really nothing to say that I can say bad about them, really. Yeah, but can they be relicked? Any chance the jam's going to be on Facebook? Like the guys that are running that, Jamal, they're not very savvy or motivated to film, whatever the case may be. Look, I'll have a chat to whoever's running it tonight to see if they can post some clips. But yeah, it hasn't happened for a long time. So I tell you what, I've got this new internet connection at home, and it's a portable one, so I can essentially start streaming from other locations, which is going to happen at some point, which is going to be fun. So maybe we can do something like that at the jam, and I'll have something like that coming up. People comment on my Strat video about how they hate relics and you can barely tell that the guitar is relicked. I think most people that hate them haven't played them. I dismissed them for a long time. I used to belittle Rick for buying relic guitars, and you know, in a jokingly kind of way, like obviously not being serious, but you know, and I you know, in that live clip, I said, "Oh, it looks like you've played it a while," you know, and none of the relicking was through use, but they feel good. There's something about that worn neck, you know, even if you just buy one with a worn neck, they feel really good. They're less sticky. What was the point I was going to make? Yeah, but a lot of people just haven't played them. And I think that's what it is. The best guitar I've played in terms of a Telecaster was the black Relic Tele this was going back a while. That guitar was so good. It felt unreal. Like it was the best. It was light. It was great. And I was embarrassed to play it initially because I was like, man, this looks crazy. Like, it's so worn out. Like, why would I buy this? But the way it felt was kind of pretty cool. What ohm speaker is in the older Sheffield Bandits? Most likely an 8. I doubt it would be a 16. I could be wrong, but I'm sure there's plenty of information on there. I haven't seen any Bandits for quite some time that have anything other than 8 ohm speakers, and this goes from the Silver Stripe. All the Studio Pros are 8 ohm as well, at least to my knowledge, and the Red Stripe Bandit and the Bandit after that, and the 2 Bandits after that actually are all 8 ohms, so I'm guessing 8. It will say it somewhere, or I'm pretty sure you can find depending on which one you've got, should be able to find some information online as well. But I'm almost certain it'll be 8 ohms. Suave says I'm trying to be semi-quit on the Relic deal, being I am guilty. Semi-quiet, I think he means. Yeah. Did you think about taking the neck and electronics off and really beating up the body for that full Relic look? I'm thinking about it, yeah. Look, I'll see how I feel about it. I'll string it up, I'll use it for a bit. I'll see if I need to get inclined to do any more. I doubt I'll post any more videos of it unless I like roll over it on my car or something. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. It's not too over the top. I'm still not 100% happy with the fretboard. I got to be honest. There's a few of these I'm going to sand a little bit back and maybe look a little less black in there. But yeah, the body looks good. People were like, throw your keys at it. You know, there was a lot of good suggestions for how to relic the actual body of the guitar. And maybe I'll take the top 10 suggestions that I read and turn that into a video. We'll see. You should try using power tools. That's from Conan. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. So I wanted to try to do a video about this for someone who's who's got a guitar that's maybe not too expensive like this, that wants to relic a guitar and might not want to spend $100 on tools. So with the exception of this carpet here, you know, the tools were less than $20. The whole thing was $31, including this, or $32. So. Sanded necks feel good. Absolutely. That's from Razman. Sticks, 85. Thanks, mate. I appreciate that. Merry Christmas. Jeff says he's ordered an Eminence Texas Heat, 8 ohms. Killer. Awesome, awesome. Can't go wrong with that, mate. In a PV Bandit or Studio Pro or just the old Mustang version, I always get them confused. Version 2 amps, Mustang 3s, killer. Throw rocks and darts at it. What about heating up a branding iron and going at it? Yeah, I don't know, that's kind of cool. Get the bottoms off some of them frets too. You mean like, I'm not sure what that means. If you could let us know. I did sand the side edges as well, so. Drag it at the back of your beach bike. Yes, the old silver trans-tube Bandits have 8 ohm Sheffield speakers. There we go. I still have mine from 96. Yeah, I figured that was the case. So 8 ohms it is, you're in business. Yeah, Texas heat in any of those Bandits or Studio Pros is a really great upgrade. I was actually going to bring out my 2x12 Marshall tonight, but I'm thinking I might try the Studio Pro with the Texas heat. I'm keen to give that a rip. I almost sold that a couple of weeks ago. I was on the fence, and then I thought, no, I'm going to keep it. After the Mustang died, I thought, no, we'll hold on to it. Relic the fretboard with the strings on. And whenever I see a Relic fretboards, they have clean areas under the strings and the wear between the strings. Yeah, that makes sense. I see a lot, you know, on a lot of Fenders, they have the Relic job kind of like the string lines going across, you know, where they got the Relic lines going this way. I don't really like that. You know, I thought about doing that when I first got it. And when I first started doing the project, I was like, maybe I should just, you know, do lines across the board. And I thought, I don't know how much I like the look of that either. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I reckon sometimes it looks awesome if it's done right. Other times I'm not too sure. I just wanted to play it kind of safe. Now, you know, I obviously play a lot of the bottom strings or the top strings here and do a lot of bend. So I figured that's the area I'm gonna do the most of the wear on. And then on the 12th, just for visual reference, that's all that was. Any plans to Relic the hardware? I may sand some of it back and dull it up a little bit or scratch it up or whatever, but I'm not going to go too overboard with it. Yeah, I'm not going to go rusting out anything. I think that might have the opposite effect on it. But if any suggestions on that, let us know. If you want to tint the back of the neck to match the guitar, just buy Color Tone Liquid Stain. I'll just click show. I don't know why it held that. Oh, it's because you put a .com in there. That's right, I'll show that. So yeah, if you missed the start, I have actually added some color to the guitar now as well through some permanent chalk, which is like a crazy kind of stuff you just only need a very small amount of. Relic your Fender GT. So stay tuned tonight. There's a video coming up about the insides of my broken one. Can you age metal with vinegar? Oh, you can age metal with vinegar. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. I guess it's acidic, so that makes sense. Very cool. Got to get some pre-ripped jeans now. Yeah, I've been guilty of that in my early 2000s. Not so much these days. Let my 7-year-old have a go at it. He seems to be able to relic anything. Chrome is hard to relic nicely. Nickel looks, yeah, nickel ages, like you take it out of the case and nickel ages. I've seen that on Gibson pickup covers before, on a 335 I owned. Stuff tarnishes as soon as it hits oxygen, basically. Yeah, I don't think I'm really going to worry too much about going over the hardware. I think just having the areas around it look pretty sort of relicked, dirty, ruined, wrecked, whatever. Should hopefully be enough. Muriatic acid works well for aging hardware. Man, I learned so much about this stuff. It's insane, I tell you what. So many people know about all this stuff. This is not my bag. I got a wealth of useless information about guitars, amps, music, computers, travel, lots of places, lots of things. Just not handyman kind of stuff. So it's a good learning curve. If anyone wants a guitar Relics, man, just let us know. I'll drag it behind my car for you and it'll look like $1 million. Strong acid will lift the chrome off the pot. Metal junk these guitars are made. Man. Hey, here we go. I'm surprised Squire hasn't come out with a Relic line. LOL. Yeah, well, there you go. That's interesting. You'd think they would have. They're all made offshore, so I'm sure they could do it and still keep the price relatively good. Hey, we've got 84 people here. Welcome, guys. I didn't realize I haven't been watching that part of the stats. Very cool. All right. Man, time flies on these live streams. I said 20 minutes. It's like 46 minutes. I'll take a few more questions. We might go for the hour and then I'll hang it up. Yeah, so once again, I'll just quickly show you guys this. This is what a guitar looks like after 10 years of solid playing. It still looks pretty good, minus all the chips through and dings, and you know, the back actually looks pretty scuffed up. It's probably a little hard to see with my lights here, but yeah, you know, I had to replace this stupid cup jack that Fender used on their old guitars, man. You know, when they released these 50s style instruments, there's certain things they should just ditch and leave in the 50s, and one of them is that stupid cup. You know, I did a video on when I replaced this and why, and this has given me no grief since I put it in. It's just awesome. So good. And this is another thing they should have done as well, the angled switch thing. I've had this on here for 5 years. It's great. Most of them are just straight like this. You know what would be fun? If I showed somebody both of these guitars and said which one's older, and see if it convinces them that this one's actually older. Someone who doesn't play guitar. I'd like to see what someone who's not in the know would think about both. Roseman says, I've been accidentally relicking my Squire for years. Same with all of my guitars too, mate. I have some 30 to 40-year-old guitars that look new. Oh man, well, good stuff. You know, especially if they're that old. That's cool. I think there's something to be said for taking the shine off the gloss of the new guitars. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, like when you buy a glossy guitar, it feels great, and then you ding it, and you're like, oh no. You know, if you can ding it. This stuff was like impenetrable. I'm still shocked at how awkward that was to get off. I really didn't think it was going to be that big of a job. I did see another video where a guy took the shine off a similar type of guitar to this, and he did say it took him a while. I'm sore today. I'm actually really sore. I was supposed to go to training today, and there's not a chance. Have I heard of the Chicago female blues rock guitar great Joanna Connor? No. At least not off the top of my head. I've seen some rock and female blues guitarists on YouTube, but I don't know if one of them. I saw this like larger woman who's a monster player. I just don't know her name. A strategically placed bullet hole would open up a world of potential storylines. Thanks for that. I'm not big in relicking, but I like the matte satin finish of the Fender, so taking the shine off is great. Thanks. Yeah, I agree. I think it looks nice. Nothing really replaces the look of natural wear, but it doesn't show much on poly finishes. I wish more finishes were nitro. Yeah, that would be a lot easier to work with, no worries. Hey, Robert Baker, getting ready to watch the video. Can't wait to see it. Mate, feel free to troll the comments. Like, no, actually the comments were pretty good. Like I said, I think I only removed one comment that was like an attack. Everyone else they just have their opinions. So it's an interesting it's an interesting thing to try. I don't often do, I'm not involved in that side of YouTube at all normally. So it may bring new people in. It may also bring in people that are like a hell of a lot more knowledgeable about this stuff than me, which is obvious. I think most people in the chat would know more about this process more than what I would. But yeah, it was a good, fun first test, mate. If you get the chance, you should give it a go. Then I'll get in the comments, tell you how you're doing it wrong. It was like an army. Yeah, you had to penetrate. Yeah, absolutely. It was brutal, man. Like my shoulders are sore. That whole video was over 2 hours long, two and a bit hours, and I condensed it down to 20 minutes. And you saw most of what I did. I cut sections out of it too. Most of that ran at 2000%, which is 20 times faster than real time. Gives you an idea of how much I was doing this. To me, relicing is just another way of painting a guitar. A few people suggested doing like the paint over thing as well. I've never done that. I thought that might be kind of crazy to paint over a guitar. Like I've used spray paint a lot over the years, right? I reckon I could get a pretty good finish with some spray paint, but I would probably have to even take it down even further than this to get the paint to stick. It's still got gloss on it, so I would really have to go hard and sand it, and then it becomes a massive project. But I could almost see myself painting the body of this black and giving it a shot. I've still got some spray paint that I used when I made some pedals in my other cupboard, so I could probably do that. That'd be kind of fun. Showman, welcome. Merry Christmas to Showman. That's from Dave. I'm just passed these around. Show the fretboard again. So this is what it looks like now for those who have just joined. Let me see if I can, is it gonna focus? There's something about my camera that I've learnt now that I think I need it on a specific mode when I do this. Let's do it like this. Ready? So that's the, come on, focus. Hang on, sorry guys. There you go. It's freaking out a bit, but so I added some little bits of permanent chalk across the body. Now it's almost got this black tint through it. It might not sort of show exactly like that, but yeah, the neck definitely looks way better than it did yesterday. Still not perfect, but you know, it'll do. It will be fine. Am I in focus? I am. All right. Stickbit says, I'll relic your guitar for you. Send it to me and I'll get it back to you in about 50 years. Thanks for that. Thanks for that, mate. I appreciate that. You could sand it all the way down and refinish it with nitro. Yeah, if I was to do that, I'd definitely be buying some tools, like some actual power tools. Hand sanding, man. I don't want to do it again. You know, as I added the chalk to it today, and the shoe polish, I sanded it back a bit because I put way too much of it on. I hardly used any of it. Like I used this little bit and it was way too much, and I started sanding it off. And I was like, oh yeah, there it is. Does it make you want to play it more? I don't know, it just makes me want to play it. Like, I'm keen to give it a go. I finally have some strings. I was out of strings yesterday. I really wanted to put a video together of like, you know, doing a live stream with the strings on, but I just got home and I was like, I better do this before it gets too late because I gotta go out. I'm keen to see more what people think of it in person than how it appears, how the idea appears to people. You know what I mean? Like I want to see what people see it and go, oh wow, look at that. Or they'll go, man, what have you done? You know, like that's kind of part of it. But for me now, this neck feels awesome. It feels really good. It feels maybe better than the majority of my guitars because it's so smooth and like, it's just powder soft. It feels awesome. If you don't like it, put it back the way it was. Robert says, I love Relic guitars, make you just want to beat it up and rock out on it. Absolutely. And like I think, like I said earlier, most people that really hate Relic guitars either just don't like the idea of them or they haven't played them. And the first one that they might just not like the way they look is fine, but if you haven't played one, give it a go. And then just grab your favorite guitar and just go to town with the sandpaper. I'm joking. I know most people won't do that. You drove me to upload my Relic guitars and why they suck part 2. That's from Suave Trainwreck. I'll have to check out your channel, dude. Taking the finish off the back of the neck is always good. Absolutely, and I did that on a lot of my guitars. I guess the last one that I really sanded back was my Classic Vibe Tele, the 50s one. I did that. I think in the same video I also possibly sanded back this slightly. I took a little bit of the shine off with really fine sandpaper, but nothing to sort of eat through the gloss or anything like that. That video was up probably 4 years ago. What color was the permanent chalk? Was it white? It was black. I can show you the little... where's my phone? I'll tell you exactly what it was called. It was called... Do not breathe. Oh no, that's the warning. Irwin, I-R-W-I-N, straight line. Is this gonna work? Little yellow, all right. Sorry about my autofocus, guys. For some reason, it's not automatically swapping around. But yeah, Irwin. They had 3 colors. It was yellow, which might have worked, black and blue. All right, we've got about 2.5 minutes left. Anyone has any last questions or comments? I'll read them out, answer some stuff. Put a rasp on that hard forearm edge. Put a rasp on that. I don't know what that means exactly, mate. I apologize. I'm thinking you want something here, right? Is that what you're asking? Like, do something more here? Love the buckle rash on yours and the back of the neck. Thanks, man. I'm quite proud of the back. It took me like an hour. But it's multi-layered, which is cool. It's got the light bits, the heavy bits, and now the bits that are sort of like black and a bit of splinterage going on. So yeah, I kind of like that. I reckon that came up extremely well. That was the hardest thing to do on the guitar. But the back looks great. The front, I give the back for my first go, and from what I envisioned in my head, I'm gonna give this about a 7 out of 10. The top, I'm gonna give about a 6 out of 10. I like the back better. So I'll just play it this way around. We should be good. Just play it this way. Start playing right-handed. Relic the pickguard, I have. I scratched it up. It might not show on the video, but if you have go to the end of the video I uploaded last night, you'll see a close-up of the scratch plate. I probably might go over it again, but it's like making my girlfriend look older by taking sandpaper to her face. What does that even mean? Do they make bedroom worn versions of these? That would be legit for most players. So whatever, yeah, you just add dust to it and leave it in the, leave it in your cupboard. It looks good to me. I wouldn't do too much more than maybe just true in a few things. I don't know what that means. Sorry guys, sometimes the comments make sense, and other time autocorrects on phones change words and then it gets all confusing. Ah, gotcha. Dave in Oz, thanks man, I appreciate that. all the back of the guitars I've reliced always look better than the front. So you're saying, yeah, the back looks better than the front. Yeah, I don't know what it is. The back was just easy to do. Maybe that's why. It's just, you got more surface area to kind of work with. There's less things in the way, which makes it maybe a little bit easier as well. Yeah, you can kind of just butcher it and have some fun. So there we go, guys. That's an hour. How's that for 20 minutes? Irwin Straight Line Black Chalk. That's what it's called. Yeah, absolutely. You got the spelling right and everything. It's $3.30 or something like that at Bunnings. And yeah, as I thanked Dylan earlier. He was one of the guys, the first guy to suggest that stuff through private message, and I was like, that looks perfect, so I'll give it a go. It's funny, you know, I didn't even know what I was buying. I had no idea what it was. I'm like, what is it? The guy's like, why are you buying this? I'm like, I'm putting it on the back of a guitar that I butchered. He goes, why would you do that? Because I'm an idiot. That's why. The best thing to come out of this was the mat that perfectly fit my table. I can't believe it's the exact size. I didn't measure it or anything. All right, guys, rock on. Have a great rest of the Christmas time and all that kind of stuff, all the end of the year. I don't know, I'll try and squeeze in one more coming up before the end of the year, one more live stream. I've got videos going up most days, so yeah, feel free to leave questions or comments on this. If you're rewatching this and the video doesn't have the red dots in the title, it means it is not live. So if you're commenting in the regular spot, feel free, and then I'll get back to you when I can. I don't think you're done yet. This is from Showman. He says, needs more guitar wear on the front. Yeah, you might be right. I'm going to string it up anyway and have a play. So Merry Christmas, folks. Happy holidays, all that kind of stuff. If I don't see you before then, but odds are I'll get on again. But I've got some different videos coming up until Christmas. So have fun, and I will catch you all soon. And Robert, thanks for dropping in, mate. I appreciate that. Go subscribe to Robert. He's a monster player. I'll tell you what, Robert, give me some of your chops, mate, and I'll relic a guitar for you of your choice, one of yours. I reckon that'd be a good deal. All right, guys, take it easy, and I'll catch you.